if you've been around here for a while, you know that. Sorry, the fuzz from this gets in my nose. But you know that, I can't stop looking at my cat, I'm sorry. You know that I am not really much of a holiday enjoyer, except for like Halloween or Dia de los Muertos. But I don't really watch. Sorry, no, I was just thinking of something else that I watch. But I don't normally do anything for Christmas. I usually stay at home and just snuggle my cat extra. So if you have a pet, make sure that you, especially right now, look after them, take care of them, but also take care of yourself and take it easy as much as you can. If you're able to, take a break. Take a break, and if that means not really engaging with people because of your social battery where you are at, that's okay. You don't need to always be quote unquote on for people. You have to be willing to take care of yourself. So that means doing what's best for you, and that means getting extra sleep instead of maybe going out with friends if that's what's needed. Or for some of you who are especially more antisocial, or you don't really hang out with friends as much or family as much, then this is a sign that you should be around friends and family more during this time. Maybe you need to push yourself out there to be around people more, because humans are social creatures. We need to be able to socialize with people, and for some of us the best we can do is like virtual socializing. But if you're able to do more than just that, if you're able to meet in person with people, if you're afraid of getting sick, wear a mask. Ask that other people wear a mask. If you live somewhere that's it's able to be warm enough outside, you can do something outside, an outdoor activity. But also, if people don't respect your boundaries or well wishes, for example, if you do wear a mask, or if you're not comfortable being around people who haven't gotten vaccinations, if that's just something that doesn't make you comfortable, then if you don't want to get sick but you also don't want to get other people sick, it's find what works best for you, what makes you feel safe and comfortable. A lot of people have heightened stress during this time of year, and I think a lot of people get triggered even more than usual by things like childhood things that are subconsciously running in your life, helping dictate your decisions in your decision-making process. And so now's a good time to really reflect on when you get triggered, being like, what can I do to not get triggered by this anymore? And I think people are much stronger than they realize. During, this time of year, I really get to be reflective. And maybe you are going to be around people who maybe you still want to see them, but they trigger you. Maybe you, for example, have a sibling that you really love, that you cherish, but you also don't see them very much, and maybe you travel out of town to see them, and you love them, and maybe your relationship dynamic is better now that you are both older as opposed to when you were both younger, but maybe you still get triggered by being around this person, and that's completely normal. It's completely normal to get triggered by people, especially if there's things you haven't worked through, or people maybe don't want to work through things. I've tried talking to family members before about things that bother me, things they've done when I was younger in childhood, or things that people still do, and people just can't compute. They're that's not how I perceive it, or that never happened. So make sure you trust yourself. If anybody tries to tell you who you are, maybe sometimes it's okay to still be. Part of reflection is also considering what other people have to say. But then if you consider what people have to say and you're like, okay, I don't believe that what that person has said is true for me. If you truly feel that, then you just have to move on, you know, and you believe what is true for you. There's something else I was going to say along the lines of what I was just saying. But I can't remember now. But if there's people you don't want to be around, that's okay. Because you know what? You deserve to be around people who uplift you. But also people who, I was going to say, part of reflection is also owning where we have made mistakes or where we have done something wrong or where we could just improve. Maybe I'm not saying we're bad people. I just think there's always, I don't want to say always, I'm not like, what is it, alpha or sigma mindset. I'm not like that, but it's like, I feel like a lot of times there's things we can improve on in life. I'm not going to say always, but I don't know, maybe always, I don't know. And it can take time, so allow yourself to go through the process of taking your time to figure out what it is that you need to change and how you will change certain aspects of your life. I know, you know, there's a saying, it's weird because it's like you either hear people say there's so much time left to live or there's not enough time left to live. I just think it's neutral in the middle. I think it's both, because I don't think time exists in the way we perceive it as humans. But you know, don't rush through things, but also don't put things off to work on things until a different time, unless again you're working through something. If you're working through things right now, I hope you're able to get through those things, and I can't tell you that it will get better, but I hope that things get better for you, because you do deserve happiness and peace. So I understand that sometimes we do need to, maybe there's things we want to work on or things we need to accomplish that we don't have the time or the energy because of things that are currently going on in life. So sometimes, that looks weird, I'm putting it back. But sometimes, you know, after a bit of time has passed, maybe you'll recognize there's not always a perfect time to do things or to think through things, to get rid of things, like to clean out your home. Sorry, my girl is acting up, I think. Anyway, distracted me. What was I saying? I have very bad memory. But, what was I saying? You can't, I don't know, but now I'm just like, I'm hearing, you can't always control things, right? Boy, you can't control is how you react, you know, you hear about that, but also, it's not just how you react. I think you can't control how you act before you act out, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you know, for example, you're gonna be somewhere that is a highly stressful situation during this time, during the holidays and whatnot, or if maybe you realize that you acted out in some way, maybe it was warranted, I don't know. Like, I'm always a believer in standing your ground and keeping peace for yourself. But I don't know, don't be afraid to apologize where it's necessary. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. I think a lot of times the people who are actually bad, well, actually I don't want to say that. I don't think a lot of times people are bad people. I just think people hold a lot of shame and people deflect. So if you notice you've done that in any area of your life during this time, you're not a bad person. You are, I don't know you personally, there's different people watching this, but you're likely a good person who maybe just has some things that you could work on. Maybe you don't even realize what they are. But we can work on ourselves. We can't change other people. And so that's why it's good to have boundaries where it's necessary. yourself will really appreciate. Sorry, there's like a weird buzzing noise outside, like machinery. The most innocent and gentle parts of yourself will appreciate the boundaries you put in place. That doesn't mean completely cut yourself off from society, because we can't. If we want to engage in society, we can't just completely have things always our way. But also, there are things that, are a firm no or a firm yes in terms of boundaries. So it's a good thing to consider all of those things. And I want you to just remember that you are so beautiful. So don't be so hard on yourself. I was trying to say earlier, people are so hard on themselves and people hold so much shame. Sorry that I have Vaseline on the outside of my lips, but the inside it's like dry. It's because I'm talking in the air in here. And if you feel alone during the holiday season or you have to work, you just don't feel like maybe people are caring about you enough. You aren't alone in that. I oftentimes feel alone, but then I remember that I'd rather be alone and at peace with myself than in a room full of people and hating myself. So it's a good time to focus on loving yourself, whether you're around a lot of people right now or not. Focus on loving yourself, healing yourself. Don't worry about eating good food, about treating yourself. Like, maybe you don't treat yourself much. It's like, go and get that ice cream, even though it's like maybe cold where you live, but it's like, don't worry about the calories. Don't worry about any of that. Honor your body, and that means if you have cravings, if you're able to feed into those cravings at least every once in a while. I'm not saying like if you crave ice cream every day that well, some people do eat ice cream every day and they live long, healthy lives, so in moderation still, but you know what I'm saying, like, it's okay to do things in moderation. You're not a bad person for wanting to eat good, eat sweets, eat like fattening foods. You're not a bad person for that, and you aren't somebody who has a lack of self-control. You're somebody who, if you have access to these things, of course, it makes sense for a lot of people to want these things. So don't be afraid to eat the food. Don't be worried about like gaining weight. We live in such a fat-phobic society, and like a food-phobic society in many ways, because people are so, well, I guess that ties into fat phobia. So we just live in a very fat-phobic society. But I don't want for you to tie your own belief system into that, your own thought process into that. Maybe you have things ingrained within you related to that. From a young age, you were taught, hey, you have to look a certain way, you have to be a certain way. But who you are right now, even if there's things you want to change about yourself, even physically, it's like, because we were talking about the mentally and emotionally changing of oneself. But if there's anything you want to change about yourself physically, if it's within reason, shouldn't even do it as a hobby, because we live in a capitalist society as well, where everything is about making money and survival. And so you're viewed as a better person if you make more money. But just know that whether you have a lot of money or not, or whether you soon will or eventually will, that isn't what makes you a good person. What makes you a good person is maybe what you do with that money. What makes you a good person is how you treat people. Are you kind to people? Are you kind to yourself? You are in the people portion as well. Like, do you treat yourself kindly? And think about if there's anything you want to change about yourself physically. Will that actually change how you ultimately feel about yourself? Or are you focused so much on other people's perceptions of you? Because we shouldn't be doing that. Because also, societal norms are always constantly changing, although some stay pretty consistent, like being like AFAB or women, AFAB people or women being very skinny toned or skinny, or like slim, thick specifically, which is a very actually slim, thick people are talking about is hard to achieve and maintain, and genetically a lot of people just can't reach that. So think about how you can start viewing yourself in a more positive, beautiful light. Where can you start to think, hey, like a lot of people, for example, really hate having big noses. If you have a big nose, and if you are self-conscious about it, what can you do to be like, hey, well, I know some people find it attractive, so maybe I should start liking it more. I'm about to sneeze. Okay, hopefully I don't have anything hanging out on my nose. Is my nose a little bit red? I think why is it red? I think it is a little bit red. Is it because I sneezed, or has it been like that the whole time? Anyway, now I look like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. That's actually a good example. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. People didn't like him because of how he looked, and then or the Ugly Duckling story, people didn't like him because of how he looked, but then Rudolph helped save the day by delivering presents. And even though that's not a real story, it's like, it's based in truth, it's based in reality. So I want you to also right now think about your dreams that you have for yourself, and think about how you can achieve them, and don't shame yourself for having these dreams, and don't think about other people who tell you you can't have these goals or dreams. I want for you to believe that you can achieve them if they're like realistic enough, right? Like nothing crazy, nothing that's like actually literally impossible. But like I will wake up tomorrow and my skin will be blue, because that also would be a bad sign. But I feel like right now a lot of us need to remember to slow down and pause and breathe, and to just be patient. Things don't always need to be happening at a million miles per hour. So I will say that you're on track, you're on time, and if you feel like you aren't, there's always time to start, or to start again, to start over. There's always time to start in whatever form or capacity you can think of. Like if you don't like your job, you can try to look around. It's hard, maybe some of you would need to, if you're like, well, if I need to get a different job, I need to like move. Well, you don't have to do it tomorrow. If that's a goal you have, I believe in you. It's attainable. These things are attainable. Just because things take time doesn't mean that they are not attainable. It's just that they will take time. So be gentle with yourself and do the best that you can. Work hard. Give yourself rest though. Don't worry about the things you can't control. Don't overdo it. Don't overwork yourself, because then you'll end up not liking who you are. Also, when you overwork yourself, you're a lot more likely to lash out at other people as well. And you're a good person. You don't need to do that. You don't need people to have a sour taste in their mouth when they're around you. was the smart twin and my sister was the pretty twin. It's like I can be both, she can be both. So make sure you're not comparing yourself, because you are a great person as you are. You don't need to compare yourself and where other people are at in life. Smile, your smile, your smile, your nose, your red button nose, your hair or your baldness, your hair or your baldness. Your cat, are you a good pet parent? Are you a good parent? Like, what do you do that adds value to your own life? Think about those things. And if there's something you've always wanted to try or do, or maybe you haven't done it in a while, now's the time to try if you are able to, if you have the resources to. But also, now is a time of not giving up hope. Maybe you live in a certain part of the world where politically you just haven't given up. It is good to have revolutionary optimism, to not be nihilistic, because that's how they get you down and how they keep you down. That's how they keep you down. And if you are feeling down right now, then I wish you well, I wish you peace. And I wish that you at least can have hope, if not now, then sometime in the future, for things to get better. Because you deserve it. You deserve a happy, healthy life. And sorry. If things are bothering you, it's okay to get rid of those things or those people. You're not a bad person, remember. So, if there's anything you need to grieve during this time, specifically, like maybe a loss of a loved one, maybe it's, you went through a breakup not too long ago, or less than a year ago, and now during the holiday season you're not with that partner. Maybe this is your first time in a while you've been alone, or single for the holidays. Maybe you just have to work, you can't make it home. I hope you can still, as a solo person, as an individual, you're able to find things that make you happy, things you can do for yourself. Have a self-care day, or maybe a mindset you could have is, maybe I can't see people now, or maybe I can't do things for myself during this time because work is hectic during this time of year or something, right? Think of a time in the future when you can maybe take a day off, go to the spa, or go out of town or something. Not everything has to be on the same timeline as other people, as I said. So that also means, for holiday celebrations, don't get down in the dumps, or at least try not to, and be like, well, other people have this opportunity and I don't. Just think of it as the timing is different for me, so I'm able to do things on a different schedule, but it works for me, and so I will take that opportunity as I can. And I will say, if you get upset by things, it's okay to get upset, but don't only focus on being upset. It's like, I think about this. I have you can't see it, but I have a tattoo right here, and it says rage, for Rage Against the Machine. Maybe it's more right here. Anyway, you get my point. With that tattoo, it makes me think I have rage myself, but my rage does not come from a place of hatred, self-hatred, or outward hatred, but a lot of outward hatred for others is a projection of internalized hatred. But anyway, if you use your rage like me, that's powerful, because my rage does not come from a place of hatred. It comes from a place of love for myself and for others. So if you're upset by the state of the world, or by personal dynamics, personal relationships you have going on, stick up for yourself or stick up for other people, but do it from a place of love and caring about people and nurturing yourself and other people. Don't make yourself small, don't make yourself quiet just because it makes other people more comfortable. Because that leads to complicity, and that leads to you not living as happy of a life, or as truthful as a life as you can. And part of living is in peace is living your truth. So that means being who you are, dressing the way you like, getting tattoos, like piercings. That means having where you have choice, making a choice, and having that be rooted in true desire, true love, true passion. I will say that, don't be like me. A lot of times I'm a dad. But I will give myself credit when it's needed. Because I am a dad a lot of the time, but I do take risks where it's needed. So don't be afraid to take risks, even if you end up losing something or someone. Like asking somebody out on a date, even if, like, as a friend, and they're like, oh, I want to distance myself from you. If that ends up happening, it's like, it's better to ask what as opposed to what if. And only the what if and what if and what if, and then not like do anything. No matter what you do, if you feel something strongly that you should do and you do it, it doesn't work out, or like you lose people in the process, all you can do is the best you can do. And so if you think that that was the best choice for you in the moment, then you can't. I don't hold any regrets for things, so hopefully you also don't hold a regret, because it helps to shape who you are, evolve you, and it helps you to get answers and clarity, which is so important to get that. You deserve answers, and you deserve clarity, and you deserve truth. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed